What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another deck profile here on TCG University for the card game UniVersus. My name's Tam, and today I'm going to be showing you the All Might deck that I played for the Back to Standard Campus Championship. If you like this, make sure you check out all the matches that All Might got to play in here on the channel. They'll be in their own playlist. Yeah, this deck was an absolute blast. What a monster of a deck, just as aggressive and as like big punchy as you can make it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the profile. All right, so All Might. If you haven't seen one of my deck profiles here before on TCGU, basically what I'm going to be doing is telling you more about how the deck wants to operate, how it wants to work, as opposed to just reading off the cards all willy-nilly. So what does this All Might deck want to do? Well, this All Might deck wants to hit you hard. It wants to hit you fast. With his enhance giving a bunch of speed or damage, depending on what the situation needs, as well as his enhance to commit himself and then commit another foundation to draw extra resources. He's trying to speed through his deck as big as he can, find these really awesome attacks, and just mollywop his opponent. Just really show him why he is the #1 hero. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into the profile. And the first attack that we're playing, the main disruptive attack, is for Ice Dragon Seiryu. This card is phenomenal inside of All Might because you give this thing extra speed, it guarantees a hit, and it basically says that they lose an entire turn of the game. They just are set back a turn because of how the frozen word works. It says that their foundations do not get to ready. Up next, we've got 4 Ermax Teleport Punch. This card's a really good disruptive ability just because of the fact that whenever they play their first card on their turn, you just toss this thing up in their... you toss their attack back up into their hand, excuse me, and then when they have a hand full of cards, you just pump on the cool stuff with All Might, either speed or damage. Either it's a 10 mid for 4, or it's a 4 mid for 10. Either way, this deck is unbelievably scary. Up next, the main big bruiser attack is for Shokin Grab. This card says that it itself gets extra damage because of all the 5 difficulties, which the last attacks we just saw were all 5 diffs. All Might gives it extra damage, and it's the only punch throw in the game. And throw says if they fully block the attack, so if they have an awesome high block for it, congratulations, it's still going to be doing at least half damage. There were some turns where I was getting this thing up to 20 plus damage, and so on the half block, yeah, I don't mind having one attack deal at least a third of your life. That seems pretty okay to me. On to the support cards. We are playing 4 Nutcracker. This card's incredibly expensive. There are some options when it comes to attacks to replace it, but I mean, this card is the only momentum out that we have besides Ice Dragon getting to play extra cards. But this thing makes our attacks super fast so that All Might can make them super big. It gets you extra value off of drawing cards, and it's got one of the best abilities in the game, which is a Breaker. 2 mid block, awesome breaker stuff. And then my last attack is for Valiant Assault. This is just All Might's second enhance on an attack. It's just enhance, combo, draw 2 cards. So I draw 2 off All Might, draw 2 off Valiant Assault. If I can combo Valiant Assault, the better. And the big thing is 9 times out of 10 with the Valiant Assault, I'm going to be giving it speed so that I can guarantee my next check. If this attack deals damage, I look at the top card of my deck, and I can add that card to the bottom of my deck if I want to. Moving on to the actions and assets, and I really think that they're what makes this deck. We are playing 4 Big Shot Punch plus 3 or minus 3 speed, and you get to pick up a Big Shot Judy, and then 4 Big Shot Judy plus 3 or minus 3 speed, and then you pick up a punch. The big thing about these cards is it says that as opposed to having big long strings and playing a lot of little attacks, All Might is just wanting to get the job done. We want to play 1 or 2 really big attacks and smack my opponent. And Judy giving speed, punch giving a little more damage, I get to make up for whatever All Might can't do a little later in the turn. The last action we're playing is we are playing 4 Let's Cut Loose. This is just more draw power, more hand advantage. Actually incredible whenever we look at the engines inside of the deck, because there's a lot of little engines that need some key specific foundations to go off, and Let's Cut Loose lets us add the consistency that this deck needs in order to fire. Onto the assets, we're playing Double Fiddlesticks. This is in here just as essentially draw one attack. After I smack you with an attack, let's say an Ice Dragon, it'll go underneath my character as momentum. From there, on my turn, I'll use Fiddlesticks, stack this on top of my deck, then use All Might, commit himself and another card, and then draw 2, including guaranteed 1 Ice Dragon. And so it's just guaranteed draw 1. I don't think it needs to be this card needs to be a 2 of. I think we can easily get away with it just being a 1 of and be fine. On our foundations, starting off with our aggressive foundations, we're playing 4 Prolonged Espionage. Every attack inside of our deck is a printed 4 damage attack, except for Ice Dragon, and so this just gives a little bit of an extra oomph to All Might. Having double 2 of these out says that all of your attacks are getting an extra 2/2, not to mention what All Might can toss on them. Really, really good. Not necessary for the deck, but I just wanted to play Prolonged Espionage because I thought it was novel that all my attacks happen to have 4 damage. We're playing 3 Burning with Revenge. This card says that after it gets added in with my Nutcracker, I can add it down and give an extra 2 damage. It builds me a foundation on offense. Yes, it is a committed foundation, which means it's not going to be playable until my next turn. But the more cards that I can build, because of how aggressive I am, I'm just throwing out punches, dude. Because of how aggressive I can be with the character, the more that I can build as I'm throwing attacks, the better it makes my game if I don't finish them off in this turn. We're playing 4 OG Mecha Ninja. This card, it serves 2 jobs. One, it says check a 4 to make sure that my attack gets plus damage or speed, depending on the zone of the attack. As well as there's a small combo with it that we'll see a little bit later. But the main thing is that check a 4 means that I get to toss the Punch and Judies inside of my discard pile a little bit quicker on every single attack, not just mine, but also yours. I can be discarding the top 2 cards of my deck with OG Mecha Ninja. Up next, we're playing 4 Sensimorals. This card is just value on the card. One of the best cards to commit with All Might himself because of the fact that it's playable while committed. And kind of like OG Mecha Ninja, it has a check of 4 ability, so I'm filling up my discard pile, trying to find those Punch of Judies on turn 1, turn 2 if I absolutely have to. As well as it doesn't count as progressive, so building is really, really easy. The next flow card that we have is Double True Identity. Form Commit. My checks to play attacks this turn get +1 for the rest of this turn. It says it's a bit of a safety net of if I do check bad, I've already committed 1 as insurance to see how long I can extend my play. With how many cards that I'm drawing, the more that I can build, the better. Up next, we're playing 4 Petrol Power. If I have 3 foundations, I've drawn this off of All Might or any of my Valiant Assaults, or even honestly picking this up with Let's Cut Loose is good. I play it into my card pool, make my check, I build it in my staging area ready, and my next attack this turn has +2 damage, and then I sling another attack. It's just trading cards, resources from my hand into resources in my staging area on the turn that I want them. In the same vein, we're also playing 4 Stolen Sword in the same nature of I reveal a weapon card from my hand, and then the next time I play a weapon foundation this turn, I add it to my staging area. So if I have 1 Stolen Sword in my staging area, the goal is to have, I should have pulled them off to the side, the goal is to have the OG Mecha Ninja, all 4 of those copies, also be considered foundations that can just build into my staging area all very, very quickly. Up next, we've got 3 Not Over Till You Die. This card works very similarly to Fiddlesticks, as I just want to toss an attack on top of my decks. It's even better if I've got Fiddlesticks and Not Over Till You Die. So on Not Over, stack an attack, Fiddlesticks, stack an attack, All Might, commit this face down that I just generated, since it's not doing anything anymore. Draw 2 cards. Just really, really solid find an attack. On to our defense. The only defense that we're playing is we're playing 3 Telekinetic Masteries. This card says that if my opponent increases their speed or damage stat, I can check a 6, which sometimes means just commit 1 foundation if I check my 5, and then reduce either speed or damage, my choice. And if they increase speed, I can decrease damage. If they increase damage, I can decrease speed, or vice versa. I can do whatever I'd like. And then my last card is a bit of a disruption card. We're playing 1 Hi-Fi Stereo. Because we're playing those 12 cards that want to move into my own staging area, I thought including 1 Hi-Fi would be pretty neat. Response commit, after a card is added in, I get to draw a card. Not to mention, I can also drop cards in with Let's Cut Loose. So I've got like 16 cards that want to drop cards into my staging area. And reducing a card out of their hand, yes, it's a little against the idea of All Might by getting bonuses for what my opponent has in their hand. But with the Hi-Fi Stereo, I don't have to give anything speed or damage if all my stuff's just going to hit him, especially with my Punch and Judy setup the way that it is. And so there you have it. the people's champ, the symbol of hope. All Might is it's such a fun deck to play. This deck in particular, I had an absolute blast piloting it. I felt like I was just throwing my hand at the table every single turn. Really something that the all symbol wants to do. It's just it's really good at throwing orange cards, and if that's what you like, that's what you like. Sometimes, you just got to dig deep, plus ultra, and just punch them a little bit harder. So if you like this, make sure you check out all the matches that All Might played in, as well as any of the other profiles or matches here on the channel. If you want to join us live as we record these matches, please go to twitch.tv/TCGUniversity every Tuesday. We're trying to start them a little earlier, like 3-ish, but this week we had to start a little bit later. Anywho, and then lastly, if you want to support the channel, please go out to patreon.com/TCGUniversity. Subscribe out there at any levels that you'd like. Any bit helps keep the dream alive. So from all of us here at TCGU, thank you very much for watching this video, and stay learned.